What if I told you the most valuable item in the next crisis isn't gold, food, or even ammunition, but something you probably already have sitting under your sink? Sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. In 2025, everyday household items are quietly becoming the new currency. And in this video, I'm breaking down the 11 cheapest, non-perishable staples you can stockpile, hoard, and trade to survive, and even thrive, when the next big crisis hits. I've spent the last 3 weeks diving deep into supply chain reports, FEMA bulletins, and real-life barter logs from prepper forums across the country. What I uncovered is shocking. These common items are already being traded for food, fuel, and even favors. And the best part? They're dirt cheap, at least for now. Stick around because I'm revealing all 11, and trust me, you don't want to miss number 7. It's a total game changer. Have you noticed sudden shortages or price spikes in your area? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. Let's get into it because the time to prepare is now. Number 1. Bleach. When you think of survival essentials, your mind probably jumps to water filters or high-tech purification tablets. But what if the most effective solution is already in your laundry room? We're talking about plain, unscented household bleach. Forget the fancy scented gels or splashless formulas. The key is to find basic bleach containing 5% to 8% sodium hypochlorite. This simple chemical is your lifeline in a water crisis. The Environmental Protection Agency's own guidelines for emergency water disinfection, updated as recently as 2020, list unscented bleach as a primary method right alongside boiling. This isn't just a theoretical recommendation. As of early 2025, the CDC has reported a staggering 68% increase in boil water advisories across the country compared to the entirety of 2024. This isn't a fluke. It's a direct result of aging infrastructure and climate-driven contamination affecting communities everywhere. When the taps run dirty or stop flowing completely, a single $2 bottle of bleach can purify dozens of gallons of questionable water, making it safe to drink. People are already recognizing its value. On prepper forums, stories are emerging of bleach becoming a hot commodity. One user in Ohio detailed how he traded 2 unopened jugs for a full case of canned beans during a recent municipal water failure. Beyond water purification, bleach is a multi-purpose workhorse. It's an incredibly effective sanitizer for surfaces, a crucial tool for killing mold after a flood, and a way to decontaminate basic medical tools when soap and hot water are scarce. However, there's a critical detail you need to know. Bleach has a shelf life. Its potency degrades over time, and this process is accelerated by heat and sunlight. Storing it in a cool, dark place is essential. While under the sink is a common spot, make sure it's not next to your water heater. To maintain a reliable supply, you should rotate your stock every 6 months. Mark the purchase date on the bottle, and when it hits the 6-month mark, move that bottle to your regular cleaning rotation and replace it with a fresh one for your emergency kit. When the alert comes through your phone warning you not to drink the tap water, you won't have time for a store run. You'll need it already on hand. Number 2 is Ziploc bags, specifically the freezer-grade variety. This might sound incredibly boring, but its practical value in a crisis is immense. Consider the story of a mother in rural Kentucky during last winter's ice storm. While her neighbors frantically tried to salvage food from their powerless freezers, she remained calm. She had stockpiled freezer-grade Ziploc bags and used them to securely seal everything, protecting her family's food supply from spoilage. She later traded 1 box of these bags for 3 jars of home-canned green beans. This wasn't a fluke transaction. It was a demonstration of solving a real, immediate problem. Freezer-grade bags are fundamentally different from their flimsy sandwich bag cousins. They are thicker, more durable, and designed with a robust seal to keep moisture out and prevent leaks. During a blackout, a flood, or a rapid evacuation, these bags become invaluable. You can use them to protect vital dry goods like rice, flour, and sugar from moisture. They are perfect for portioning out daily rations to make your food supply last longer. You can even use them to store and transport clean water in a pinch. Their versatility is their strength. Need to keep matches, tinder, or important documents bone dry? Bag them. Want to barter a portion of your coffee grounds without creating a mess? Bag them. What makes them a prime barter item is their reusability and affordability. For now. You can rinse, dry, and reuse a high-quality freezer bag multiple times, a feature that becomes incredibly valuable when resources are scarce. Currently, a large box of 120 bags costs less than $5 at most major retailers. However, demand is starting to outpace supply in some areas. During the supply chain crunch in early 2025, numerous Dollar General stores reported shortages of freezer bags. This wasn't driven by organized hoarding, but by everyday families realizing just how vulnerable their food storage was. Smart preppers are quietly adding these to their stockpiles. They store flat, take up minimal space, and offer a powerful solution for food preservation and organization when chaos strikes. Number 3 on our list is duct tape. It's been called gray gold by survivalists, and in 2025, that nickname is becoming literal. This isn't just about patching up a leaky pipe under your sink. It's about having a tool that can solve hundreds of problems in a world where nothing is working as it should. The true value of duct tape was captured in a viral post from a prepper in Amarillo, Texas. He traded a single roll of heavy-duty duct tape for a week's supply of instant coffee, a barter valued at over $12. Why would someone make that trade? Because when your shelter is leaking in a storm, the sole of your only pair of boots peels off, or your water container cracks, duct tape becomes more valuable than almost any comfort item. Its uses are practically limitless. In an urban environment during a winter blackout, it can seal drafty windows to conserve precious heat. It can be used to repair a torn backpack, fashion a makeshift splint for an injury, or even temporarily fix a leaking fuel line on a vehicle. In more rural settings, it's used to mend fences, reinforce tool handles, and patch torn tarps into functional rain shelters. Unlike batteries that die or complex electronics that can fail, duct tape just works. Its reliability is its greatest asset. Most of us have a half-used, dusty roll in a junk drawer, but those who are preparing seriously are stocking up on high-quality versions like Gorilla Tape, T-Rex tape, or military-grade variants known for their superior adhesive and stronger woven backing. A standard roll is still incredibly cheap, often costing less than $4. But during the Midwest ice storms of February 2025, people on local swap groups were offering $15 or more for a single roll. Functionality trumps everything in a crisis. To ensure it lasts, store duct tape upright in a cool, dry place, as prolonged exposure to heat can weaken the adhesive. Don't just buy one roll, buy 5. When your neighbor's tent rips in the middle of a downpour, that roll of tape won't just fix the fabric. It could buy you a meal, a favor, or a trusted ally. In a grid-down world, trust and resources are held together by this sticky gray tape. Number 4, baking soda. This unassuming cardboard box sitting in your pantry is one of the most versatile and undervalued preps you can own. Most people associate it with baking, but its utility extends far beyond the kitchen. In a crisis scenario, baking soda becomes a multi-purpose powerhouse. It's an effective, non-abrasive cleaner for scrubbing scorched pots. It can neutralize odors in a powerless refrigerator, clean surfaces, and even act as a gentle scouring powder when commercial cleaners are unavailable. When antacids and other over-the-counter remedies vanished from shelves during the pharmacy shortages of 2025, many people turned to a small amount of baking soda in water to soothe heartburn. What's truly alarming is how quickly this simple staple is disappearing. According to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the price of baking soda shot up by 22% between November 2024 and March 2025. This surge isn't being driven by a sudden boom in home baking. It's being fueled by preppers, off-gridders, and families seeking affordable, chemical-free alternatives to expensive household products. The window to stock up cheaply is closing. While you can still find a 4-pound bag for under $3 at bulk stores, that may not be the case for long. Bartering with baking soda has already begun. A user in a Michigan-based Facebook group recently reported trading 2 boxes for a jar of local honey and a roll of aluminum foil. One of baking soda's best features is its incredible shelf life. As long as you keep it in a dry, airtight container, it will remain effective for years. Its uses in a long-term emergency are extensive. Use it as a toothpaste substitute, a deodorizer for clothes and boots, or even to help extinguish small grease fires. It's non-toxic, lightweight, and incredibly compact, making it ideal for both home stockpiles and bug-out bags. Unlike flashy survival gadgets, baking soda flies under the radar. Most people won't think to hoard it until the shelves are already empty. Grab a few extra boxes on your next shopping trip. In a world where basic necessities are becoming luxuries, that $3 bag of white powder could become one of your most valuable assets for hygiene, health, and trade. Number 5 is alcohol wipes, or even better, isopropyl alcohol. When basic utilities fail, hygiene is one of the first things to collapse, and its absence can be more dangerous than you think. During the 2025 flu outbreak that swept through the Midwest, it wasn't just hospital beds that filled up. Store shelves emptied out. Retailers like CVS and Walgreens reported severe shortages of alcohol wipes and isopropyl alcohol with a concentration of 70% or higher. This wasn't just a case of simple panic buying. It was a direct response to flickering power grids and failing water pressure, which made something as fundamental as washing hands impossible for many. In that environment, a simple, pre-packaged alcohol wipe transformed from a convenience item into a critical survival tool. This is about much more than just feeling clean. It's about preventing infection when professional medical care is out of reach. A minor cut or scrape, easily managed under normal circumstances, can become a life-threatening infection if cleaned with dirty hands or contaminated water, especially when access to antibiotics is limited or non-existent. This is why seasoned preppers are now looking beyond small wipe packets and are stockpiling gallon jugs of isopropyl alcohol. It serves countless purposes: sterilizing a needle for removing a splinter, disinfecting tweezers, cleaning phone screens used for emergency communications, and sanitizing surfaces in a shared shelter to prevent the spread of disease. It can even be used as fuel for small, specially designed alcohol stoves. Right now, a travel-sized pack of wipes is still under $2, and a large bottle of 91% isopropyl alcohol is available for less than $7. But don't let the current availability fool you. During the hygiene crunch in March 2025, some dollar stores had to limit purchases after single buyers attempted to clear entire pallets. For storage, keep isopropyl alcohol in a cool, well-ventilated area away from open flames. Pack wipes in your vehicle, your go bag, and your barter kit. When the next crisis strikes, clean hands won't be a luxury, they'll be your armor. Number 6 is salt, and not the fancy pink Himalayan kind. We're talking about basic, bulk iodized or kosher salt. For centuries, salt was one of the most valuable commodities on Earth. Roman soldiers were paid in it, and it was used as currency across continents. While its role has become quieter, its fundamental importance has not diminished one bit. In a scenario where refrigeration is a memory and your food supply is limited to what you can store, salt becomes indispensable. It is the oldest, most reliable, and cheapest method for preserving fresh meat or fish. Whether you're a hunter or have a backyard flock, salt curing requires no electricity and can make your food last for months. A simple pinch can also transform bland emergency rations of rice and beans into something far more palatable, which is a significant morale booster over time. Beyond food preservation and flavor, salt is a crucial first aid item that most people overlook. A simple saline solution, made by dissolving salt in clean water, can be used to rinse wounds, soothe a sore throat, or clean contact lenses when sterile medical supplies are gone. The best part is the cost. A massive 26-pound bag of Morton iodized salt can still be found for under $8 at warehouse clubs as of April 2025. For a family of 4, that's enough salt to season food, preserve meat, and handle basic sanitation needs for well over a year. Better yet, salt never expires. As long as you protect it from its only enemy, moisture, by storing it in a sealed, dry container, it will last for decades. Its value in a barter economy is already being proven. A recent post in a prepper group showed a trade of 2 5-pound bags of salt for a full roll of heavy-duty duct tape and a hand-crank radio. Everyone needs salt, but few think to stockpile it in significant quantities. When the next long-term outage hits and freezers fail, its value for food preservation alone will make it a top-tier barter item. Number 7 is toilet paper, but with a specific strategy: buy commercial bulk rolls. The toilet paper shortages of 2020 became a running joke, but the underlying vulnerability they exposed is no laughing matter. In 2025, we're seeing the consequences of a fragile supply chain. Following the West Coast port strikes of 2024, which halted shipping for weeks, the entire pulp and paper supply chain was thrown into chaos. Mills struggled to get raw materials, and warehouses were depleted. By January 2025, major retailers were once again forced to limit toilet paper purchases in several states. The lesson is clear. Access to toilet paper isn't just about personal comfort. It's a cornerstone of sanitation, dignity, and disease prevention. In any long-term grid-down or displacement scenario, poor sanitation is a primary vector for illness, spreading sickness faster than hunger. This is why experienced preppers are bypassing the soft, quilted consumer brands. Instead, they are stocking up on commercial-grade toilet paper, the kind used in offices and restaurants. While it may be thinner, it is also far denser and more compact. A single commercial roll often contains the equivalent of nearly 2 standard rolls, and their uniform shape allows them to be stacked efficiently, maximizing storage space. Per sheet, they are significantly cheaper and make for an excellent barter item due to their standardized size. On a popular prepping forum, one user detailed trading a single case of 96 commercial rolls for 2 gallons of drinking water and a pack of feminine hygiene products during a local water crisis. That demonstrates tangible, real-world value. Unlike food or medicine, toilet paper has no expiration date. The only threats are moisture and pests, so storing it in a dry, sealed container ensures it will be usable for years. You can still find large cases for under $40 at warehouse clubs and restaurant supply stores, but industry reports warn of continued supply chain fragility. Grab a case while you can. When the next disruption occurs, you'll be thankful you have a supply of this essential and powerful commodity. Number 8 on our list is a reliable way to make fire, specifically BC lighters and waterproof matches. Fire is a fundamental survival tool. It's about more than just cooking a can of beans. It's about generating warmth when the power is out, boiling water to make it safe for drinking, and providing a source of light that can boost morale on the darkest nights. In 2025, the most basic fire-starting tools are becoming highly sought-after barter items. While experienced survivalists might have ferro rods and magnesium starters, the average person in a crisis needs something that is intuitive and works instantly, even with cold, trembling hands. This is why urban preppers have been quietly clearing out dollar store shelves of multi-packs of Bic lighters. A single lighter is cheap, but its utility is immense. One verified post from an Appalachian barter group showed a trade where 5 Bic lighters were considered equal in value to an entire bag of rice. This trade makes perfect sense. A single lighter used carefully can provide hundreds of flames, potentially lasting for months. For wet or humid environments, waterproof matches are even more valuable. Brands like UCO or Coghlan's are designed to light even after being submerged and can ignite on wet surfaces. During the ice storms of February 2025, reports surfaced of people in emergency social media groups offering canned food in exchange for a single working lighter. Fire provides a sense of control over your environment. It's the key to staying warm, purifying water, drying wet clothing, and signaling for help. To maximize their lifespan, store lighters in a sealed bag to prevent fuel evaporation and keep matches in a waterproof container. You can find both in bulk at most gas stations and hardware stores, but don't take their availability for granted. Import reports show a significant drop in lighter shipments due to supply chain issues, meaning shortages could be on the horizon. Pick up a few extra packs on your next shopping trip. When the lights go out for good, a small, reliable flame might be the most valuable thing you can offer. Number 9. White vinegar. You might walk past this humble bottle in the grocery store aisle without a second glance, but white distilled vinegar is actually a stealth survival powerhouse. It is arguably one of the most versatile liquids you can own when the grid goes down. The USDA's 2025 Off-Grid Living Report revealed a surprising statistic. The use of vinegar for cleaning and food preservation skyrocketed by 40% compared to 2023. This wasn't a culinary trend, it was a pragmatic shift. People are realizing that when supply chains falter, you need items that are cheap, safe, and effective when nothing else is available. At less than $2 per gallon at stores like Walmart or Aldi, vinegar is incredibly cost-effective. Unlike bleach, which loses potency rapidly, or baking soda, which can clump if exposed to moisture, vinegar lasts indefinitely. You can store a gallon in a cool, dark cupboard today, and 20 years from now it will be just as effective. Its uses are nearly endless. Need to preserve your summer vegetable harvest to ensure you have food through the winter? Vinegar is the backbone of pickling and canning. Has a basement flood left mold creeping up your walls? Spray it straight. It kills mold without the harsh fumes or toxic residue of industrial cleaners. If you run low on dish soap, a simple mix of vinegar and water cuts through grease effectively. It softens laundry without the need for chemical fabric softeners, removes rust from neglected tools, and even deters ants from invading your pantry. In a medical pinch, diluted vinegar can soothe jellyfish stings, clean minor wounds, or act as a mild disinfectant if your alcohol wipes have run out. Preppers in off-grid communities, from New Mexico homesteaders to Michigan cabin dwellers, are now including vinegar in their core barter kits. One user on a Midwest survival forum recently detailed a trade where they swapped 2 gallons of vinegar for a case of mason jars and a block of lye soap. Why? Because everyone runs out of fancy brand-name cleaners eventually, but vinegar keeps working. It is non-flammable, non-toxic, and safe to use around children and pets. With chemical cleaner prices soaring, some up 35% since late 2024, vinegar is the quiet winner. Next time you are at the store, grab an extra jug or two. In a world where cleanliness becomes a luxury, a simple bottle of vinegar might just be your secret weapon and most traded commodity. Number 10 is rubber bands. Hear me out on this one. I know what you're thinking. Rubber bands? Really? But this might be the most underestimated item on this entire list. In a survival scenario where every gram of weight counts and the ability to improvise is the difference between success and failure, rubber bands are tiny titans of utility. They offer a mechanical advantage that is hard to replicate with anything else. Need to seal a chip bag to prevent mice from destroying your food supply? Done. Need to bundle kindling quickly to start a fire before the sun sets? Easy. Need to fix a loose hinge, hold a broken eyeglass arm together, or secure a flapping tarp in high wind? Rubber bands make it happen instantly. They are lightweight, completely silent, and endlessly reusable as long as they aren't stretched to their breaking point. Best of all, they cost almost nothing. A 1-pound bag of thick commercial-grade bands runs under $5 and contains over 1,700 pieces. That is immense value for the money. In early 2025, a Reddit user in northern Michigan posted proof of a trade that stunned the prepper community. They traded 100 heavy-duty rubber bands for 50 feet of mil-spec paracord. Why would someone make that trade? Because the cord buyer desperately needed them to secure seed packets, organize tangled fishing lines, and keep the contents of his bug-out bag from rattling and giving away his position. Rubber bands don't rattle. They don't rust. And unlike adhesives, they don't expire in a way that renders them useless overnight. If you store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight, which degrades the latex, they will stay elastic for years. Urban preppers use them to silence metal gear like carabiners, bundle cash for easy transport, or mark rotation dates on food cans. Gardeners rely on them to tie plants to stakes. In barter scenarios, their near-zero weight and massive usefulness make them ideal for trade, especially when people realize they've run out of simple fasteners. While dollar stores and office supply shops still sell them cheap, don't wait. During the postal slowdown of 2024, several small towns reported shortages at local stores, not because of hoarding, but simply because everyday demand outpaced restocks. Grab a few bulk packs now. Stash them in your glove box, your pantry, and your go bag. When you need to hold your world together, literally, sometimes all it takes is a loop of humble, stretchy rubber. Number 11 is bar soap, specifically unscented and in bulk. When the power is out, water is limited, and hand sanitizer is long gone, you don't need luxury. You need soap. We aren't talking about the fancy goat milk or lavender-scented boutique bars. We are talking about plain, unscented bar soap. When hygiene collapses, disease spreads faster than rumors. In March 2025, Procter & Gamble quietly confirmed a 30% sales surge across the Midwest. This wasn't driven by TikTok beauty trends. It was driven by preppers, Amish communities, and rural families stocking up after seeing how quickly illness moved through shelters during the previous winter's grid failures. Bar soap is cheap, compact, and lasts for months per person if kept dry. A single bar can wash hands, bathe a body, clean clothes in a bucket, and even scrub cooking pots. Unlike liquid soap, it won't leak inside your bag, it won't freeze and burst in your car, and it won't run out with a single accidental pump. The unscented part is key. You do not want flowery perfumes that attract mice, raccoons, or insects to your storage area. A 12-pack of basic white soap bars, like Ivory or a generic store brand, still costs under $6 at Walmart or Dollar General. But here is what most people miss. Soap is becoming a major barter staple. In a verified trade log from an Ohio mutual aid group, one family swapped 3 bars of soap for a bottle of antibiotic ointment and a roll of gauze. Why? Because clean skin prevents infection better than any bandage alone. To store it long-term, keep the bars in a breathable container with a moisture absorber, like rice or silica packets. This keeps them hard and usable for years. Avoid wrapping them in plastic for long periods, as it traps humidity and turns the soap mushy. Right now, shelves are still full. But with rising water contamination alerts and more people moving off-grid or into disaster-prone zones, demand is climbing. Don't wait for the next outbreak or evacuation order. Grab a bulk pack today. In a crisis, staying clean isn't vanity. It is your first line of defense. Sometimes the simplest bar of soap is the difference between health and the hospital. Bonus point: sewing kits and needles. While we are discussing small items with massive utility, we have to mention sewing kits. Specifically, heavy-duty needles and strong thread. We live in a disposable society where a ripped shirt usually means buying a new one. But in a survival situation, clothing is protection. It shields you from the sun, the cold, and the brush. If your jacket tears in winter or your backpack strap snaps during a hike, you can't just order a replacement. You have to fix it. A simple sewing kit is often overlooked because it seems domestic, not tactical. But ask any soldier or long-distance hiker, and they will tell you a needle and thread are essential gear. You want a variety of needles: thick darning needles for wool and heavy canvas, and standard needles for lighter fabrics. For thread, skip the cheap cotton stuff and go for heavy-duty nylon or even dental floss, which is incredibly strong and water-resistant. Beyond repairing clothes and gear, needles have medical applications in extreme scenarios, such as removing deep splinters or, in a worst-case scenario, closing a wound if you have the knowledge to do so safely. They are also incredibly valuable for trade. A single packet of quality needles takes up 0 space but provides the ability to maintain essential gear for years. Store them in a small, hard container so they don't get lost or poke through your bag. Rust is the enemy here, so keeping them dry is crucial. You can often find sewing kits for $1 or $2, but building your own with high-quality components is better. Include a few buttons and safety pins as well. When the zippers fail and the seams burst, you will be the one who can keep your gear functional while others are falling apart. It's a tiny investment that yields massive returns when the systems of consumption we rely on disappear. Bonus point 12. Heavy-duty aluminum foil. When you think of aluminum foil, you probably picture covering a casserole or wrapping up leftovers. But heavy-duty foil is a survival multi-tool hiding in plain sight, and its value in a crisis goes far beyond the kitchen. The difference between regular and heavy-duty foil is significant. Heavy-duty foil is thicker, more durable, and far more resistant to punctures and tears, making it incredibly versatile for tasks that would shred the standard version. Its ability to conduct heat, block light, and create a waterproof barrier makes it a surprisingly effective tool for solving numerous problems when modern conveniences fail. One of its most critical uses is for water purification. You can easily shape heavy-duty foil into a makeshift container or a bowl. This allows you to boil water over a fire to kill pathogens, a life-saving capability if your primary pot or canteen is damaged or unavailable. You can also use it to create a solar still. By digging a hole in damp ground, placing a container in the center, and covering the hole with a sheet of foil weighed down by a small rock in the middle, you can collect condensation as the sun heats the ground. It's a slow process, but it can produce precious, clean drinking water when no other source is available. Beyond water, foil is an excellent cooking tool. You can wrap food like potatoes, fish, or foraged edibles directly in foil and place them in the embers of a fire. This method, known as packet cooking, steams the food in its own juices, preserving nutrients and flavor without needing pots or pans. It also makes cleanup incredibly easy. In a barter situation, this convenience is a huge selling point. Imagine trading a few feet of foil to a neighbor who has been struggling to cook over an open fire. You've just provided them with a simple solution to a major daily problem. Its reflective surface also makes it an effective signaling device. A flat sheet can be used to flash sunlight at search planes or distant parties, acting as an improvised signal mirror. In colder climates, taping sheets of foil to the walls behind a wood stove, or even behind yourself, can reflect radiant heat back into your living space, making your shelter warmer and your fuel last longer. As of mid-2025, a large 200-square-foot roll of heavy-duty foil still costs less than $10, a tiny investment for such a wide range of applications. Store it in its original box to prevent crushing, and it will last indefinitely. Bonus point 13. Petroleum jelly. This simple, greasy substance found in nearly every medicine cabinet is one of the most versatile survival items you can stockpile. Its low cost, stability, and incredible range of uses make it an absolute must-have. Petroleum jelly is an occlusive, meaning it forms a protective barrier on the skin that seals in moisture and keeps contaminants out. This property alone makes it invaluable for first aid. In a situation where medical supplies are scarce, you can apply it to minor cuts, scrapes, and burns to protect them from infection and promote healing. It prevents bandages from sticking to wounds and keeps the affected area from drying out and cracking, which is especially important for blisters on your hands or feet when you have to travel long distances on foot. Its most famous off-label use is as a fire starter. A cotton ball saturated with petroleum jelly becomes a long-burning, waterproof tinder source. This combination will ignite easily with a spark from a ferro rod or a flame from a lighter and can burn for several minutes, giving you ample time to light larger, damp pieces of kindling. You can prepare dozens of these fire starters in advance and store them in a small, sealed container like a film canister or Ziploc bag.